they seem to have a pretty good attitude already. I mean, things are turning around, and we just need to keep it going.
How about we go through something kind of like flashcards? Just real fast answers. Same question would apply to each one of the categories. What approach have you found works best for dealing with teenagers acting out or youth?
SRO program engaging. You need to have programs, you need to have things that they do where they're used to seeing the officers, they're used to dealing with the officers on a regular basis. And you need to engage them. You need to ask the kids, what are your problems? How would you solve those problems? And it's some of the same thing as in the police department. You need to talk to them and ask them what they've done. You need to find out why they're doing what they're doing.
First priority for acting out kids is their parents, not the police department. So I would try to involve the parents first before I did anything else. If I'm now a police officer dealing with an acting out juvenile in the street, and I can't go get a parent, I'm not in a situation that can be done right away, I use the same method I use with an acting out adult. You basically respond with a lower tone than what they're responding with. You try to reduce the level of anger, violence, whatever it may be taking place. I try to calm people down and get them in a calm place so you can talk to them reasonably.
What approach have you found works best for dealing with people under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
Well, when I was a young officer, I used to think that I could argue or talk with them and reason with them, and it doesn't work. I had a guy one time that came out of a bar, was getting ready to get in his car, and I was going to arrest him, and he was crying that he could just let me call somebody. I won't drive my car, I promise. I was at the training officer. I let him go. We drove away. The training officer said, you know, he's going to drive away in that car. I said, no, that won't happen. I drove back and he drove away in that car. I learned a lesson. When you're talking with someone who's under the influence, specifically if they're significantly under the influence, alcohol or drugs, it's criminal behavior. It's in public. You've got to deal with it. You've got to take control to protect other people. If you don't, other people's lives and safety are in jeopardy. And then you talk with them after they're sober.
I'm not allowed to add. It's a discretionary thing with the officer. You need to be properly trained first to deal with that. You need to be able to recognize symptoms, know what it is they're under, what the behaviors are consistent with. If it's a discretionary thing and it's something, you know, first of all, drinking in and of itself isn't a crime. Even being in this state, being intoxicated in public is not a crime. So, you know, in that case, a lot of it's reasoning with people. Drugs is a completely different issue. It's obviously more criminal in nature. You know, you deal with it as long as it's discretionary. When it crosses the discretionary line, you get behind the wheel and drinking, that's no longer